Troutopolis, episode number 8, as we start to make some serious investments into our little town and expand it into a ginormous city. So, in the last episode, if you missed it for whatever reason, we actually made some significant expansions, at least area-wise. We bought this square up here, this tile, which allowed us to build a bridge to expand our ever-growing city. We've also started to fill out a few sections over in this department, but they're not fully filled out over there. We've also got room to put a few bits and bobs in this main central area. But I think for today's episode, it's going to be a lot based around here. Still making a lot of money. We got over that 7,000 citizen mark, which means we have a few tasty toys available to us and making healthy profit with so much money in the bank. Okie dokie, so I'm not going to waste any real time here. I want to kind of get straight into the thick of this right here. I'm going to extend this ever so slightly and put in a nice cheeky little roundabout right here. This lane won't get much use out of it because, well, we'll need to buy that tile to get major uses out of it. But for now, we're going to kind of like fill out a major area of this town. I'm going to expand that lane over there. And what we'll then have do is it come all the way out this direction. Make ourselves a segment. Let's build a big old quadrant here. So we've got a nice square to start off with. I think this will be a major district area where I'm going to stick a lot of bits and pieces. Right, so it's time to build a sort of CBD area. And I think what I'm going to do is cut this in half right here. I think quadrants like that, they're not very well, not very symmetrical, but it'll do. Make this a little hub area. I think what we need to do is consider how this might impact. Or if, in fact... Okay, what we'll do is we'll stick a couple of these puppies in. People are leaving me. And there's a few problems going on, but I'm too busy building at the moment. Right, if we stick a roundabout in there... Okay. Connect that up. That's awkwardly not well placed. People need to chill while we build, okay? What's going on? I'm hearing a lot of moaning from people. What's the matter? Can people just chill out for a second? Look, if you want some houses, I'll build you some houses. Here, look. What's this? We got high density residential zones. Let's put some of these bad boys over here. Why not? No, do we want that? We'll fill out this with some housing. See if it stops people moaning for a bit. Gets people to come in. Because we've now dipped under 7,000. Like, I try and do something actually productive with my town. And build stuff like I've wanted to do for a while now. And I can't because everyone's moaning. Okay, we got an area building up here. And we need to start filling it out very quickly. Okay, now people are coming in. I don't understand these lot. They moan about something. They then stop moaning about it. It's all over the place. I don't know what to do with you people. Your office zones. Right, so if we build like office zones around this kind of area, this should be fine. Build a little office area there. Build a little office area over here maybe. So that'll be like a general office area. Let's actually clear those as well. And then people wanted housing to live in. So if we create like a bunch of flats maybe. Build that up. Try to make the most of the room that we've got. If we're going to build it, might as well make the use of that room. I just want people to come over here, to be honest. That's why we're building it. Alright, if we stick that in there, you can have a bunch of flats and stuff. We'll build those in there. We do need to sort out the whole water electricity issue. Don't worry, boys. I'm on that. We'll get that sorted for you. We should build some wind turbines, which we will build up in this area over here. We'll build 2. Might have to get a little bit frisky with our pylons because we currently don't have the city that well connected to each other. So if we stick something over here, that probably wasn't a good idea actually, sticking that one there. But if we refund that and just go to about here maybe? Or we might need to go a bit over, but there you go. They also need to connect. Well, if I extend... Hold on, because we can do a little bit of a cheat here. If we extend, like, some flats over this way, and then we put in a couple of offices there... That wasn't the office, was it? What did I build? I built offices, that's the one. So if we do that... I think technically it should overlap. Yeah, so they're all connected now. The problem we have is water availability. And to be fair, there is a water source over here. It's not like we've not got the money. That's out of the city limits. Oh. Okay, well, we'll just purchase that because we can do. Might as well. Just for the convenience of having the water available. I don't know if there's anything to really moan about down here. Ah, one thing we do need is an incineration plant, which is something that I haven't done, which we can now put in. They're not happy about that. We'll get over it, mate. It's happening. I will look at the new building. We've also got a university. Do I want to put it in the town? I feel like it would be a bit silly not to, considering we've got all the schools there already. So we'll find a place for this university. I want to kind of keep it around all the school stuff, though. That's the thing. I mean, a university, we could put it over here. We don't necessarily need something spectacular to... It doesn't have to be a spectacular place, does it? It just needs to go somewhere. So if we put the university there, why not? There we go. People can do that stuff. Apparently, there isn't enough high schools and elementary schools, which is fine for me, because we're going to probably put all that stuff over here anyway. So if around all the schools and stuff, we could put like a elementary school there. Or was that the high school? That seemed like it was the high school. We could put the elementary school there. Hold on, let's sort out the problem that we've got here with the with this lot. In that there's not enough electricity or water coming to them. So if we send that over in that way, we need water supply to these bad boys. We'll do the same thing just in case we build outwards that way. We'll loop it. And all's gravy. They feel like high school and elementary are back to where it should be. What's the crime like? Apparently there's quite a bit of crime, which is also okay with me, because what we were definitely going to do is start to build some of these main areas. Such as the police headquarters, which is going to go in the downtown area. So if I put a police headquarters there, I think we also need to... The fire safety's somewhat troublesome, but not super duper troublesome. We'll put it right next to the police station, and then just to cover our bases. Apparently health is pretty decent at the moment. But we'll put the big old hospital in there just because, well, we've got the money and we might as well. It saves us having to do it later down the line. We are starting to have a bit of link up in which we might not need the electricity. If that's all linking up, we should be okay for electricity, I feel like. But apparently they're not agreeing with me if it's all linked up that way. That's what it should be. I can understand they're not getting any electricity. Could that work? Would that solve a problem there? It does solve that problem. Doesn't solve the problem that we've got here. So, if I were to link this up like that, would that solve the problem? Or do they need more electricity? It seems to be, yep, okay, it solved that problem. There's a big demand for houses, which I can completely understand. Do I want to build up here? What if I built like a cul-de-sac area? Because I want this to be a CBD. Because what we can do now is build around this area. I don't want it to interfere with the rest of what's going on. I just want it to be a place that we can store houses and stuff. So if we stick that in there. Kind of making its own, these little cul-de-sac areas for people. Just for them to come over here and live in. Oh, there's a lot of waste being produced, which needs to be sorted out. I mean, we might as well build another dump. I'm just going to build loads of dumps over here. It's decided. There you go. Have all the dumps you want. Now, we're not making as much profit as we were before, but I think that's because I've just invested in quite a lot of stuff. I wonder if we could bump those taxes up slightly. Ah, those are very low down, so we could potentially bump those up. That's probably why we're losing out on some money. Let's bump them up to 11. I might bump that up to 13. The good thing is, right, once we've started filling this up with places and we can connect it all as a city, then we can start to get rid of these pylons because they are such a hassle and it's ugly to look at and in the way. Kind of want to build a connection to this road. Here we go. We can get people hopefully on here. Get them straight into the town, hopefully. Oh, look at that. People are going, hello, I'm in, baby. And I think what we also need to do is kind of create an area off this way that perhaps is for things we don't want. I'm overusing the roundabouts, but I don't really care, actually. We'll use another roundabout just to kind of create an area in which we can access things like dumps and incineration plants. Maybe a bit of a waste, but we'll put it in anyway. Look, so if we put an incineration, we put a dump in like that, and then we put an incineration plant next to it. That way they've kind of got an individual source of access to the roads. Some people saying the taxes are a bit high, and this is that's on some of a few residents. Mainly looks like, yeah, it looks like the taxes, they're not happy about the taxes being that high, which I think is outrageous, to be honest. We could make a coal plant over here, and which I think I might actually do. Let's do that. Where we've got an oil power plant and a coal power plant. Let's put a coal power plant in. Let's do it. If we put this here, right, this can go there. That's now going to provide electricity there. But what we're all because that's giving it its electricity that it needs, right? It causes pollution, yeah. I don't really want to go with wind turbines in this area because I don't think the wind is particularly strong. Okay, there's some slight strength there. I could have actually maybe linked it up there. But I think what I'm probably going to end up making this like an industrial area once I need it, I guess. There is... what is this about? Is this free overeducated workers? Not enough workers. Well, what do you want me to do about that? Apparently we need to bring people in. People need to live here. Okay. Well, I can do that. Where should we start linking places up? Okay. Right, we're going to solve this problem. We're going to go with some high residential zones, and we're going to stick them in here. Hopefully that will bring people in, because that's what we need at the moment, is some living areas. They might have to deal with some traffic, but that's kind of what you expect when you live in flats and stuff, is you're near roads and bits and pieces. So if we stick all that in there, we'll even fill this area out. We have got this mall, which I think I'm going to stick in there. Keeping an eye. See, I love this area. No one's moaning about it. No, not one person decides to moan about it. They could probably do with a few shops. Let's put a high density commercial zone. And we'll put it in around this mall and make it like a shopping district, I suppose. See if people will respect that opposite the hospital, because you know people are going to have cat fights about discounted purses and handbags, so got to go to the emergency room after that. Oh, wow. We've got some nice flats and stuff over here. That's pretty. Look at that. We could build some offices, to be fair. If we build some offices there, maybe? Throw that in there. Could even throw it in there. Just trying to fill some areas out that we don't necessarily want or need. I don't think we need that much industrial area. I think that's what's becoming apparent here. Because there's absolutely no demand, which is probably why there's no need for workers at the moment. Yeah, we're just going to have to get rid of some of these because it's like they haven't got workers in them, which means that there's not enough available. We've got no demand for industrial area. They're just kind of taking up room that we don't need, I suppose. So we might as well just get rid of them. Free up the space for something else and more useful. What we need is the park. Here you go. Have a park. You have a park. And you can have a park. I mean, I feel like there's lots of problems going on, but we're still bringing people in. We're still making money, so I don't think it is actually the worst case scenario, if I'm being honest with you. Seems like things are just kind of ticking along at the present. Lots of industrial buildings being abandoned, and I'm not surprised. I was getting a little bit worried we might be overwhelmed and things might start to fall apart, but if I'm being honest, there are a few moments where problems are occurring, such as not having enough workers and stuff like that, but I think just in general, we're making loads of money, and people are still coming to live here, so there's no real demand for anything right now. We built a lot of the stuff that we had backed up and hadn't had a chance to actually put down. We do still have a metro station, which I'm probably going to stick in next episode. That way we can start to link up the cities that are across, obviously, the motorway from each other very, very easily. I saw someone moaning about the dead. Is that where's the cemetery gone? I can't even spot it. That's a cemetery. Where are you located? There you are. How are you getting on? There's 52 deceased. There is no crematorium, though. Ah. It says cemetery usage is only 18%, but there's lots of dead. Ah, that's probably because there's no crematorium at the moment, which is unfortunate. We could put a cemetery, actually, because we do have this space in which nothing's happening. I don't know if we need to send people to the incineration plant. I would have thought they could burn bodies. But apparently there is an actual crematorium for that, which we're still a fair amount away, which is unfortunate. I think that's, yeah, dead person's waiting for transport. But there's not much I could do about it at the moment, other than get people to come to the city and hit that 16,000 mark. So we can actually fill out the... We can start using a crematorium properly. Oh, there's a bit of backflow here. Why is everyone turning left? Go right. Ah, I think we need to get rid of that road, you know. This road's going. There's a massive backup. Start using the roundabout. Explore the city. It's proper looking like a city down here now with all these tall buildings that I've installed. It's an absolute travesty of a layout, but... And a major cluster, but who cares? Not me. I mean, I think everything's just kind of ticking along. There is a lot of people, are, unfortunately, rest in peace, dying, but I really cannot do anything about it at the moment. We've just got to wait until we get 16,000 to hit the crematorium. I always get this warning, but I'm not really having too much of an issue with it. It does look like congestion's sort of eased up a bit. There's a lot of parked cars, but other than that, I don't see as much congestion as there was normally. It seems like it's kind of... It's sort of moved over here. There's a lot of backup on the roundabout. Perhaps we need to build some roads that go down, I guess. Free things up, maybe. Hey, we got the small city, so we've got a few things around. Lots of bits and pieces are there. We've got the cargo train terminal, which I think means we can start to export and import stuff. Train station, so we got a proper train station, and a hydro power plant is now available to us. Not the biggest of milestones in terms of things we've got available, but we're still really killing it. It's just we are desperately in need of a crematorium because there's just dead bodies everywhere, but none of them are actually getting buried. But either way, I guess we'll just tick along. Hopefully the dead body situation doesn't become a massive problem that it starts to put people off living here, and we can tick ourselves along to that 16,000 citizen mark, and in which case we can then, you know, sort things out. But other than that, I think we're going to call it a day there. We've hit a big milestone of 10,000 citizens in the actual city itself. Troutopolis is coming along very nicely. We've still got loads of tiles we can play around with. I'm very desperate to start building around the beach area at some point. But for now, we're going to call it a day there. I hope to see you for the next episode. Peace out.